Crypto noobs. It's Sunday, August 25 or something. I don't know. I had a friend from Florida call and say, how come you haven't made any videos for like 2 weeks? And I said, because there's nothing to talk about. It's the same story. Bugs. I just got it working out. If you guys watched the presidential debate the other night, you guys, I can't tell you how completely stupid Americans are. They're just going to vote for that dumbass Kamala Harris. No platform. She doesn't have anything on her website that talks about what she's going to do. There is one thing she's going to do, though. They're going to start taxing the super rich on unrealized gains. So in case anyone's sitting out there on the fence and you have any money put away at all, you're not going to vote for Kamala. Because what that means, unrealized gains, means that if you own Bitcoin and you're up $500,000 next year after Village Idiot Part 2 takes office, they're going to tax you on those gains, whether you sell your Bitcoin or not. And then you're going to get taxed on the gains after you sell your Bitcoin to make a profit. Anyone with even a tiny bit of even a cartoon brain would know that you're not going to vote for someone like that. She has no policy. She's also talked about food control, price control. You know what price control is? Let me give you a definition of price control. It's called communism. The communists have price controls. It's interesting. So that's probably not good if you are a patriot, if you love this country. I'm not going to vote for it. Well, there's a myriad of reasons why, because she's an idiot. But when she did her speech, they didn't talk about the economy, didn't talk about the border, didn't talk about any policies at all other than just fluff. And she's, a pretty chick. Everybody's cheering. All the brainless sheep are following her. It's so bizarre to me that anyone would even consider voting for such a scumball. The Democrats have weaponized the Department of Justice, and they're talking about how Donald Trump will weaponize the Department of Justice. Really? They kept Kennedy from running. They filed lawsuits against him so he couldn't have his name on the ballot in different states. That's called censoring, guys. Just like X was before Elon Musk bought it. And that's what communists do. So I served the country for almost 28 years. I've been in combat. I am a patriot. I love this country. I have a brain. I have a PhD in chemistry, amongst other multiple degrees. So I actually do have had to use my brain my whole life. And if you forget about the I hate Trump, I'm voting for Kamala because I hate Trump, and grow up, and you think about how much you've been paying for gas and groceries, and you watch them weaponize the Department of Justice. And by the way, Donald Trump was acquitted of almost every single charge because it was all bullshit. Now he's suing the Department of Justice for their bullshit illegal records thing they did in Florida, and when they laid everything out, and everybody's like, ooh, look at all those top secret documents. Now, I have a class or a top secret clearance with the government, and we have cover sheets we lay on top of stuff when we want to cover up the information. So I could take a ream of blank paper and lay a cover sheet on it and go, it's all top secret. And all the mindless sheep will go, yeah, look at all that top secret information they got covered up. It's just, I've been talking to my friends about this for so long. I'm so fed up with the bullshit with this country. If Trump loses this election, you guys can kiss your ass goodbye as far as having freedom. It'll be gone. Anyway, let's talk about Bitcoin. So the Fed and the Biden regime lied about not Fed, but the Biden regime lied about the 1,800,000 jobs they created last year because they're full of shit. Everybody knows that. And no one's paying attention to that because that's not newsworthy. The left-wing media, the corporate-sponsored media, they don't want you to know that they lied to your face, right? So anyway, the Fed came out. The Fed deals in numbers after the fact. Like they're always a reactive force, right? They say, this is what the economy is doing. They have to look back, and then they can decide what to do in order to stimulate growth, which I don't think we should have a Fed. So Jay Powell and the regime said, well, you know what? We're going to have to... we don't like the way the economy is going. Turns out we messed up on the jobs just a teeny bit, almost 1 million. So we're going to have to do something. And in September, they're probably... And what happened? So Bitcoin jumped a little bit. They jumped, 5% overnight to around 64, whatever, thousand, which is wonderful. But Jay Powell's thinking, we have to add liquidity to the market. So they're going to lower interest rates in September, probably a half a point, which would be monumental. And if they do... We're coming into the Bitcoin bull season, September. Everybody's back from summer vacation. And you can probably expect to see Bitcoin run past 70,000 in September, maybe more. And I'm still thinking Bitcoin's going to run well over 100,000 by the end of the year because of the they're going to lower interest rates. They're going to start providing liquidity to the markets. All the billionaires are going to start taking care of each other, and the end result is that Bitcoin's going to run. Last month I said, or a few weeks ago I said I bought Solana at, I think, 140 or 138, because Solana is eating up the Ethereum blockchain. The number of users that are leaving Ether coming to Solana are more than the opposite, Solana going to Ether. Solana's growing like crazy. It costs a few pennies to make transactions. The transactions are way faster than they are the Ethereum network. Now, I'm a Bitcoin maxi. Don't forget, I've been telling you guys this for several years, but I do own Solana. I bought a significant number of Solana back between $80 and $140, waiting for it to go to 1,000 so I can make a few more $1 million on my Solana holdings. I'm not going to hold Solana long term. If they make a gigantic run in this bull run, I'm going to sell my Solana and buy more Bitcoin, because I am a Bitcoin maxi, right? For those of you who are storing your Bitcoin on Coinbase, on Gemini, any hot storage wallets, you need to learn about cold storage. I've got about 27 different cold storage wallets. All of them are multi-sig. None of them are in my home in case I get robbed. But a multi-sig wallet means that you need to have, there are several different passwords that you're going to use in order to log into it, and you have to use multi-wallets in order to be able to, I can't really explain it. I use Trezor. I've got my passphrases, like 5 separate passphrases in 5 separate locations, and you have to use at least 3 of those different sets of passphrases in order to be able to log into the wallet to make a transaction. That means if you did keep a cold storage wallet in your house and you had multi-sig wallets and somebody broke in and stole that wallet for whatever reason, and they had the password because you're a Biden voter, you're a Harris voter because you're a moron, they wouldn't be able to do anything with that set of passwords. They'd have to break into another location, steal those passwords, break into another location, steal it. They'd have to know where those wallets are at, right? So multi-sig wallets are what you always want to use. You do not want to use warm storage wallets. My brother made that mistake a number of years ago when he lost over $1 million in crypto in a warm wallet that got hacked. We both laughed about it. I thought it was pretty funny, but inside we were both crying. So I've been in Bitcoin since 2012. I've never had a Bitcoin stolen. My brother accumulated a pretty decent amount before he passed a few years ago and left me part of his estate, and the rest of our useless piece of shit relatives who know absolutely nothing about it. They're just greedy scumballs. But anyway, Bitcoin. If I were anyone, I would say I'd be buying Bitcoin. I use Swan Bitcoin because you can buy the Bitcoin. Generally speaking, you'll have to leave the Bitcoin on their exchange for about 30 days. And as soon as you're able to, you need to move it off into a cold storage wallet. So I use Trezor, I use Ledger, I use Arculus. I can't think of all the different wallets that I use. Jade. And I'm also using some new wallet. I wish I had a script in front of me like most of these guys do. It is it's not connected to the internet. It's air-gapped, just like Arculus. Really cool wallet. In fact, I use 3 of those wallets. So I'm going to talk about those in a upcoming video. I just finished reading the Bitcoin Standard. Last summer, I said that if you need to understand Bitcoin, you need to study it for at least 1,000 hours. And in reality, it's 100. But I figured if I said 1,000, maybe people would spend 100 hours studying it. They'd actually learn something about it. But I said 1,000 hours. So I've read the Bitcoin Standard probably by Safety and Moose probably 20 times. And I think, oh, I'm an expert at this. I got this, And then I read it again. I'm like, oh, shoot, that was something I didn't even realize or I missed the last time that I read the Bitcoin Standard. So I handed the book out to a bunch of friends, bought the Bitcoin Standard for a bunch of friends, and then I bought another one. I bought them like 10 times. Amazon's probably like, what's wrong with this guy? He's buying the same book. And I bought the Fiat Standard. They're both written by Safety and Moose. If you guys want to learn about Bitcoin, you need to read about Bitcoin to understand it. And if you can't make a judgment call whether it's good or bad unless you've read it. So don't get on my, don't email me or message me and say, oh, you need Bitcoin, it's fake money and whatever other bullshit narrative people come up with because they don't know what they're talking about. We've had record inflows of Bitcoin into the IBIT trust, into the IBIT ETF with BlackRock. Every check that I get, even now, even though I never have to do anything, I can sit on my ass and be a useless piece of shit the rest of my life and do nothing. And I don't have to, I don't need any more Bitcoin. No, I don't need more Solana. I can sit back and relax. I still buy Bitcoin. The other day I was on the Swan website. I have the app on my phone. And I was just screwing around watching a football game. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy some more Swan. I bought $100 worth of Bitcoin. And my wife said, why did you buy $100 in Bitcoin? I said, because otherwise I'm probably going to spend it on, food or drinks or something stupid. So why not put it into something useful? I bought my stepdaughter, a car last week or 2 weeks ago because she can't live without a brand new car. And her mother didn't seem to think she could live without a brand new car. Meanwhile, I'm driving around a 15-year-old beat up Dodge Ram because I don't believe in throwing good money at bad money. But I'm married and women don't understand money. So I threw away $5,000 on a down payment. And I cried about it a little bit, but I was talking to my sons about it. And I said, the $5,000 we put down on her car a month ago is worth $7,600 today. You guys, don't throw good money at bad money. If you're going to buy a car, see if you can get the company to finance the automobile using their money, right? You always use the other people's money and try and get a decent interest rate. I saw that Mitsubishi has 0% interest rates on loans right now. I might buy myself a Mitsubishi because I just let them carry the note at 0%. Not that I love the car that much, but that way I can make minimum payments. All of my money can go into Bitcoin, believe it or not, and I can continue to accumulate. Countries are coming on board. Institutions are coming on board. Last month's 13F filings, the quarterly reports, over 1,000 companies are buying Bitcoin right now. 1,000. All right. I think 4,500 Bitcoin were taken off. Were dumped into ETFs yesterday. 10 times the amount that's being mined. It's only a matter of time for this supply crunch. You guys probably have another month or so, maybe left before it's going to be too late. You're not going to be able to accumulate a Bitcoin. If I could mortgage my home and buy 10 more Bitcoin, I would do it. But my wife won't let me. She says no, because she doesn't understand money. And I don't blame her because, her concept of money is how much money is on the Chase card so I can go spend some money. Which is fine. I love my wife. But anyway, if you're going to do a project around the house, find a way to finance it at 0% and let the bank carry the note. If you're going to buy a car, find a way to let the bank carry the note. Any extra money you get, buy yourself some Solana or buy yourself some Bitcoin. I don't care if it's $20 worth. It's better than $0 worth. And if Bitcoin decides to 1,000x in the next 20 years, you put $20 in, that's $20,000. You put 1,000 in, that's $1 million in 20 years. Do yourself a favor, buy some Bitcoin, hodl Bitcoin, own Bitcoin, tell your friends about Bitcoin, buy the Bitcoin Standard, buy the Fiat Standard by Safedina Moose. I'm actually going to go through this book with you guys on my next video and pull out the highlights. Man, I'd love to interview him. I think he's just the coolest guy. I've watched almost every single interview he's been through, and the guy is just brilliant. I keep looking up because my wife's looking at me. Anyway. Exhausted. And work out. Take care of your mental health, your physical health. Take care of your Bitcoin health. Crypto noobs. If I don't die, I'm out of here.